I really specifically want to talk about this piece from the former editor-in-chief of several prominent magazines. She's the former editor-in-chief of The Tatler, Vanity Fair, The New Yorker. She was a founding editor of The Daily Beast. This is a really prominent woman who has a powerful platform that she could be using to empower and encourage women such as Meghan to spread their wings and go out and define her own identity separate and apart from the royal family. But this former editor-in-chief is not using her platform and her prestige that way. How is she using it? To write hit pieces in her Substack space called Fresh Hell. With her, and I'll post it here for you to read along. With her unerring instinct for getting it wrong, Meghan has come out with a show about fake perfection. She goes on to say, Trump's America is a foul-mouthed and disheveled cultural place where podcasters in sweaty t-shirts, crotch-rot jeans and headphones achieve world domination on YouTube. The real person of the moment is Pamela Anderson with her proudly won bare face. As early as 2015, the lifestyle OG Martha Stewart understood the tide was turning against overproduced flawlessness. So much to unpack right there. So she calls Meghan's show Fake Perfection. Fake. And then she requires that Meghan should try to fit her behavior, adjust her conduct so that she can fit into Trump's America. Trump's America, which is oppressive, which is racist, it's misogynistic. Trump's America literally degrades women, and and Miss Brown expects the Duchess of Sussex, a princess of the United Kingdom, who is an educated biracial woman, very smart, very astute, very savvy and clever and visionary. Miss Brown, expects Meghan to dumb herself down, act out of turn, act classless in order to fit into Trump's America. Miss Brown also feels that Pamela Anderson, and I have nothing against Pamela Anderson. We could literally be talking about any person on the planet aside from Pamela Anderson, but that's the name that was dropped. That's the name I'll go with. She believes that Pamela Anderson should be saluted and congratulated for not wearing makeup. That's strange considering all of Meghan's accomplishments, both when she was in the United Kingdom and since she's been living here. She's started businesses, she's had hit shows, she had a successful podcast, she's had another successful Netflix show with her husband, she's confronted racism, she's confronted her mental health openly and publicly. She's been really brave and courageous since she entered the royal family, yet she receives criticism and insult and being belittled, while Pamela Anderson only needs to be applauded for taking off her makeup. Got it. Miss Brown calls Martha Stewart the lifestyle OG. Now, I give Martha Stewart her flowers. No shade against Miss Stewart. She did her thing. But to call Martha Stewart the lifestyle OG, it smacks of erasure and suppressing the identities and the contributions of all the Black people who came before Martha Stewart, who really were lifestyle OGs. And not only that, but they beautified homes and they created marvelous meals and settings within the domestic space under immense pressure, brutality, and oppression. Because there seems to be now in this day and age this discomfort or this tendency among white people to conveniently gloss over, forget, ignore, cast a blind eye toward all the contributions that Black people have been making. Black people were creating beautiful homes long before Martha Stewart was ever born or thought of. Melinda Russell was a free woman from Tennessee who was also the first Black female author of a cookbook. It was called Domestic Cookbook, containing a careful selection of useful receipts. I am placing down below a link to a free PDF of the book that's on her website. Then there was Abby Fisher. Abby Fisher was formerly enslaved in South Carolina. She operated a successful pickle manufacturing company in San Francisco. She also published in 1881 a book titled What Mrs. Fisher Knows About Old Southern Cooking. I'm also posting a link to that. Then let's not forget about the Black gentleman of the 1800s. James Hemings. He was the personal chef of Thomas Jefferson. He prepared meals for Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton, in cities such as Monticello, New York City, and Philadelphia. He prepared meals for America's political and societal elites in those cities. He is the first American to be a Paris-trained French chef de cuisine. He was born into slavery in colonial Virginia. Another not so fun fact is that he is the brother-in-law of Thomas Jefferson. He was the biracial brother of Martha Wells, who was Thomas Jefferson's wife. He is also the older brother of Sally Hemings, a slave girl who had several children. I think it was 5 or 6. She had several children by Thomas Jefferson. He was her older brother. Then there was Robert Roberts. He was a pioneer author and abolitionist. He was a forceful, garrisoning anti-slavery worker and an active member of the Convention movement of free blacks. In 1827, he published the House Servants Directory, or a monitor for private families, comprising hints on the arrangement and performance of servants' work. Take a look at the table of contents before you even get into the actual book itself. Let's read some of these. This is impressive. He lists to take ink spots out of mahogany, a most delicious salad sauce, a great secret to mix mustard, to color any kind of liquor, to make liquid currant jam of the first quality, a secret against all kinds of spots on silk or cotton, to make all kinds of syrups of all sorts of flours. Then drop down some, to recover a person from intoxication, to preserve good wine until the last. Then there was this Tunis Campbell, a politician and hotel manager extraordinaire. This man was an American politician. He became the highest ranking and most influential African American in 19th century Georgia. He was a hotel worker in New York. He wrote a book on hotel management in 1848, Hotel Keepers, Head Waiters and Housekeepers Guide. I'll post a link to that book down in the comments, thanks to Michigan State University. As if that wasn't enough, he was a delegate to the Georgia Constitutional Convention and a Georgia state senator during Reconstruction. But when white people got power back after Reconstruction, they went after all of the seats of power that African Americans had gained during Reconstruction, and they successfully went after Mr. Campbell, and they falsely charged him with malfeasance in office. His trial resulted in conviction, and he spent a year in a convict labor camp. So this highly accomplished man who gave many contributions to the state of Georgia was then punished and pursued, kind of like Meghan is being done right now. As early as 1918, we're still in a period before Martha Stewart was ever born. Lena Richards was the Martha Stewart of New Orleans. She graduated from culinary school at the renowned Fannie Farmer Cooking School in Boston. And at the height of her profession, she was a cooking teacher, a chef, a caterer, a restaurateur, frozen food entrepreneur, cookbook author, and TV cooking show host in Jim Crow, New Orleans. Thanks to Black Southern Belle for that information, and I will link to Black Southern Belle because I visited their website and it is amazing. It's filled with all kinds of information on the achievements of Black homemakers. Then there was also Frida DeKnight, a home economics teacher and the first food editor of a new magazine for African Americans called Ebony. She had a monthly column, A Date with a Dish, that featured recipes, household tips, and home entertaining solutions. Frida DeKnight enjoyed a national platform that led to a cookbook published by Johnson Publishing. She had TV programs, segment demos, and she toured the world with Ebony Fashion Fair, which she helped found and organize. There was also Zephyr Wright, President Lyndon Johnson's personal chef. This is a picture of her in 1961. For it to be asserted that Martha Stewart is the lifestyle OG is to erase the accomplishments of so many phenomenal Black people. I haven't even gotten to the modern day homemakers such as Patti LaBelle, Layla Ali. Then there was the first African-American woman to serve as the White House Social Secretary. And then there was the second Black woman to serve as the White House Social Secretary. There was a time during Reconstruction when Black women could not be anything other than domestic workers. During Reconstruction, after the Civil War ended and slavery was over, Black codes were enacted literally to keep Black people in degrading circumstances. They could not be doctors, lawyers down in the South. They couldn't pursue livelihoods of integrity. Black codes ensured that they would continuously have to be in subservient positions to white people. And this went on for a very long time, for decades. When I watch Meghan Markle, who is clearly a talented, educated, esteemed woman with a lot of potential, and while she's working hard to establish a platform and an identity of her own separate and apart from the royal family, it's disgusting and dehumanizing, and it smacks of Reconstruction era type harassment, intimidation, and oppression that she can't simply create her own life without harassment from the press, the same type of bullying that used to happen in the Jim Crow South. Martha Stewart is phenomenal. She's talented. She has contributed and done quite a lot in the lifestyle industry, but in OG, she is not. And when you make seemingly small statements such as that, which overlook a whole host, 200 years worth of people who were beautifying homes before her, once again, you're being dehumanizing. And when I say you, I mean mainstream society that is dominated by white media. Erasing Black people and our achievements and contributions is unacceptable. Barbara Elaine Smith, better known as B. Smith. She is a restaurateur, lifestyle expert, businesswoman, hospitality hostess extraordinaire. She said in a 1997 interview with New York Magazine, Martha Stewart has presented herself doing the things domestics and African Americans have done for years. We were always expected to redo the chairs and use everything in the garden. This is the legacy that I was left. Martha just got there first. With all due respect to B. Smith, may she rest in peace. I just want to make one small correction. No, Martha Stewart did not just get there first. She was just the first to receive the resources, support, and access that people like Tina Brown are denying to Meghan right now.